That happens, uh, uh, the government cannot really do anything serious to move the economy. But if you address that and then you look at making things that are not working work internally first, then these other subsidy issues can be more easily addressed, because once you have people going back to work, once you bring some of the unemployment figures down, once you take people who are employed in jobs that they are overqualified for and put them in jobs for which their qualifications are more matched, once you can stabilize that a little bit more, people will be able to tolerate certain amounts of reform to the subsidies. Mm-hmm. And then you can do it in a gradual, phased-in process. I don't see any real sustainable way of doing it other than that way, without risking some kind of backlash or shock on the streets. And I think the people in charge of this country recognize that.
Yes. Dr. Abdullah, now the Egyptian government has been very keen on sending positive messages to the Egyptians and to the investors, local and foreign investors. And as we saw that in the latest interview of Prime Minister Dr. Hassan Bastawi on the television, we saw that the government is really keen on encouraging the investors and the Egyptians and really trying to increase the credibility of the Egyptian market. Do you think that the government has been doing enough to boost the credibility of the Egyptian market and reassure the Egyptians and the local and foreign investors?
The credibility of citizens about the government effort depending on the essential need for the citizens. Mm-hmm. If the essential needs for the citizen is available according fit price, good quality, whatever the time what he needs the citizen, it's available. The citizen will expecting what the case of prices according the government effort. Mm-hmm. The government efforts and the performance about it, mm-hmm. and depending the good procedures which the government would take, mm-hmm. good policies government which put good system of control about all the prices, policies of marketing, good policies for small-scale projects, good policies for employment, mm-hmm. good policies from the government about the corruption, about the pollution, all these economics, all these problems, the citizen, which feeling by good effect about this, mm-hmm. there is no about this, there is no any interruption, there is no any objection about mm-hmm. this. Yes. If the government try as he can, good policies, good procedures, in order to the citizens will feeling by good daily life. Mm-hmm. Daily life for every citizen suffering from some problems daily, traffic, prices, mm-hmm. Pollution, corruption, mm-hmm. all of this, whatever of more mm-hmm. problems, the Egyptian citizens yes. feeling by it.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian economy's competitiveness really also hit very new lows. Let's check out this following report and we'll be right back with our distinguished guest to shed more light on it.
Political instability has caused Egypt's economic competitiveness to tumble from 107th to 118th out of 148 countries, according to Global Competitiveness Index, an annual report issued by the World Economic Forum. The report attributed this decline to the country's continued transitions since the events of the Arab Spring. It said the deteriorating security situation and tenuous political instability are undermining Egypt's competitiveness and its growth potential going forward. Basic requirements are defined as the institutions, infrastructure, macroeconomic stability, as well as health and primary education, which make up the foundation of any successful economy. In most of these terms, Egypt traded poorly this year except for health indices, which saw improvement. Primary education, however, lurched back. Efficiency enhancers are the second most important part of an economy, which greatly increase competitiveness. These factors include higher education and training, goods market efficiency, labor market efficiency, financial market sophistication, technological readiness, and market size. Egypt requires vast improvements in these fields, as well as, according to the report, which mainly based on the country's economic performance on three pillars: efficiency enhancers, innovation, and sophistication factors. The decline this year is due to what the report has attributed to Egypt's lack of basic requirements and efficiency enhancers in the economy. Egypt's rank has been in retreat over the last 4 years, falling from 70th position out of 33 countries from 2009 to 2010. The year after, it sank to 81st place of 139 countries, followed to a further drive from 2011 to 2012 to 94th among 142 countries. As usual, the top 10 places this year remain occupied by a number of European countries, which are Switzerland, Finland, Germany, Sweden, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom, characterizing their places among the most competitive economies.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the Egyptian economy has been hard hit for the past 2.5 to 3 years, and the Egyptian economy's competitiveness really hit new lows. Now, Dr. Abdullah, there are so many reasons why the Egyptian competitiveness is really at an all-time low. It could be because of the, as you've mentioned earlier, the security situation, the political instability, the lack of production. But do you think that maybe one of the reasons, the main reasons for Egypt's competitiveness being that low is that the Egyptian economy is mainly relying on the financial aid that it's been getting?
The main causes, about this case which Egypt is offering, the financial organization in Egypt suffering from some problems. Bad procedures from the government, bad policies from the government, unsure for all financial decision, unsure for all governmental decision. From time to time, the financial organization in Egypt expecting good decision from the government. After time, maybe short or long, facing bad decision. Like that, bad decision about taxation law, bad decision about free zone from all governments, like that for Said, like that Burj Al Arab, like that Alexandria, all free zone suffering from bad decision for investors in this area. Egyptian investor for this area will bad case, suffering from more problems, more bureaucratic in decision. This affects for long policies in order to export their production. The Egyptian investor is suffering from bad decision from all the governmental area. Unclear, unknown for all governmental decision. All of this affected the Egyptian investors and foreign investors, because foreign investors will see the all effects on the local investors. If the governmental put good policies, clear policies, clear procedures, good policies for solve all the expecting problems which the foreign investors expected about it. The Egyptian governmental performance at time very bad, very bad.
Yes. Mr. Bastawi, now the tourism sector really recorded a growth rate, the highest perk rather among all sectors, with 6.6%, and the Suez Canal as well recorded earnings sector of the least growth, worth dropping by 3.8%. Now we understand why the tourism sector is suffering, and it's been suffering since the past 3 years for the security reasons. But what about the Suez Canal? Why are earnings and growth rates dropping by 3.8%?
I haven't personally analyzed the statistics related to the Suez Canal, the most recent ones that you're referring to, but I would speculate on a couple of things. First of all, we shouldn't read too much into the figures in the Suez Canal because it's linked to so many other global trade relationships. So there are trends globally that are taking place. I mean, most of the world economy has been in basically trudging along at a recession pace, Europe and so forth. And the trade between Europe and China, which a lot of which passes through the Suez Canal, for example, trade between India and Europe has not been at the same levels that it's been at, several years before. So there are fluctuations in there that you'd have to analyze it closely. It's less to do with Egypt, in my opinion. The only area where it might have a little bit to do with our economy here in Egypt, or what's going on in Egypt, is that there are some types of shipping which have to do with ships coming into Egypt directly, and that trade